Hello everyone. If your day at work was rough, take a moment to check out the most insane and absurd things these people do at their workplaces. Let's get it on. The only fire the firefighters tolerate is friendly fire.
Ja, Chef? Ja, wir sind da. Tschüss.
This is what a construction site looks like the day before payday. It'd be easier to learn to fly than to work in a team with this guy.
Rapaz, vem aqui, ó o artista aqui. Você fala. Aí, ó. Vou dar descarga, sai água ali.
Go parking ke. Go parking ke. Okay, go. Go parking ke. Nadu go parking ke. Nadu go bina parking ke. Ada.
Rumour has it that the worker still doesn't know the installation has crashed.
Alguém vai me indenizar minha bolsa?
Потому что хотели пойти. Пойдем. По команде. Пойдемте быстро. О! Иди в это. Нету. Ой, теперь...
Hit the like button if your teammates are usually just as clueless. Some design choices can annoy you even through the screen.
You got kidding me. What happened? What'd you do? You stuck? God, you're a idiot, bro.
Sometimes a small, nice gesture can brighten up even the gloomiest workday. Check out the surprise someone left for the garbage collectors.
Daqui. There.
Hey,
If you're considering saving money by not hiring a designer, the perfect job is one you'd be willing to get a tattoo for.
Ready?
If your team isn't like this, don't even bother inviting me to a job interview. It's simpler to penetrate this metal with a stare than with this drill. Quite an impressive trick. Turning a basement into a foundation. Who needs horsepower when you have one dedicated person? It looks like the cameraman wanted to keep a memory of his last day at work. How did this thing stay in place before? Was it levitating? Now you can experience complete immersion while watching. Sometimes it feels like being a forklift driver is the most unfortunate job in the world. Pranks on interns never get old.
ارادت دوستان من سانس واو واو این هم فدا سری همه دون شیکه
Every time you ask the barber to trim the hair around your face just a bit, when you haven't done anything for 2 months and the deadline's tomorrow. Zero safety precautions, but creativity is off the charts. I'm sure the crane deliberately sabotaged things to take the guy's job.
Where's the plumber? Jack, get the plumber!
Some situations have a mysterious backstory. What do you think happened here? Let us know in the comments. If these guys' plan was to cause as much destruction as possible, they've already exceeded their goal. It's crazy how much money people are spending on these procedures. And those guys are actually getting paid for it.
Gak apa-apa.
Everyone has that one awkward colleague. If you don't, it's probably you. You shouldn't be allowed in construction shops. The mistake you usually spot only 10 minutes before you clock out on Friday. This guy's taken his professionalism to a new height.
So we're not pulling it together.
What do you mean?
The cement is so runny that it's hard to tell if it's a construction site or a flood.
The moment of truth. awesome. This is so cool. This is going to be so much fun.
This is what happens when you let an intern drive the company car.
Yep.
Show this video to your accountant on bonus payday. He literally trimmed everything except the lawn. Here's why your house takes ages to complete.
Then put it in the skip.
ما طاحتش ما طيحش ما طيحش
يحبط شويه ولا واش نطيح
ايه
طيحي طاحه طيحي طاحه طيحي طاحه طيحي طاحه
If the plan was to place them carefully, they did everything possible to make sure that didn't happen.
طاحت طاحت
طاحت
Hoort door die innerlijke wagen. Je hebt er weer snuffel naar gestuurd.
Maak het goed nog.
Super.
When it comes to renovations, you need to be good at improvising.
We're drilling.
And this guy just won the gold medal in that skill. It looks like the painting work started a bit earlier than planned.
Hij maakt het weer hoor. Oei oei oei.
After that, the guy probably really wanted to give the pilot a lesson in proper parking. This is what true men do to lower their cars. This truck driver brings more than just deliveries. He also brings trouble. If a robot uprising were to start on a construction site, it'd look like this.
We're gonna try the big stick theory. He's gonna go flying across try to kill the engine with water, and hit the big stick.
This is actually gonna work, I think.
Oh, there we go. Right him in the hole.
Oh, right in cowboy.
In the hole. Oh, ole. 8 seconds. 8 seconds.
Fits.
I got it.
Oh my gosh, we're still going now. It's not going down, it's fighting. The lions around the Indian gazelle.
Okay.
Oh, no, there we go, $50 to the gentleman with the antlers.
Don't be rude to car service workers, or your car might end up looking like this. This man got injured, so he asked his son to help out in the yard. He's probably regretting not just waiting until he recovered. The problems are literally piling up for this homeowner.
Go for it, Julio.
The only right way to do team building. Now he understands what all those odd papers with service layouts in the house are for. What is he thinking? Using a stapler would be so much simpler. He'd tell his wife at home that he feels like he's spinning his wheels at work. This is why you're waiting so long for your car to be fixed. Let's sign the petition in the comments to get the poor folks an ice rink. When you're not getting paid enough at your construction job and decide to take on a side gig as a promoter. By the end of the workday, we're all kinda like this guy. Meet Keurig Bolton, perhaps the world's most famous boulder. This massive rock fragment is wedged tightly in a mountain crevice at the summit of Mount Keurig in southern Norway. It measures 5 cubic meters, weighs around 15 tons, and sits an incredible 1,110 meters above sea level. But the most thrilling part? The abyss beneath it, a sheer drop of 984 meters. According to geologists, the boulder is made of gneiss, a tough metamorphic rock, and has been lodged between the cliffs for about 50,000 years, around the time when our ancestors first left Africa. The surface of Keurig Bolton is relatively flat, making it easy to walk on. However, there's usually a line to get onto the boulder for a photo, as it's a popular spot. There are no handrails or safety nets. Each visitor climbs at their own risk. Though guides advise against stepping onto the rock with another person, that guideline is often ignored. The Al Naslar rock formation, located in the desert near the town of Tabuk in Saudi Arabia, has become a major attraction, intriguing both visitors and geologists who come up with all sorts of theories. The cause of the fascination is obvious. This 10-meter tall sandstone rock is bizarrely split in half and rests neatly on small pedestals. The first European to describe this stone was the French explorer Charles Hubert during his 1883 expedition. He also discovered petroglyphs, depictions of animals and humans, estimated to be around 4,000 years old. This region has been inhabited since the Bronze Age, and its history is marked by the influence of many civilizations, including the ancient Egyptians. This only adds to the number of theories. For centuries, it was a key trade route connecting Damascus to Medina. Some argue that ancient people tried to carve 2 statues from the rock using traditional sawing methods, while others are convinced that only a laser could have made such a flawless cut. Could Al-Naslar have split due to natural causes? Scientists believe there's a chance this could have happened as well. Sherry Lewis, a geologist at the University of Bristol, suggested that the Al-Naslar phenomenon could be the result of water freezing and melting in a tiny crack. Over thousands or even millions of years, this process could split not just the rock, but an entire mountain. Deep in Wyoming's Belfourche River Valley, an extraordinary geological feature with a sinister name captures the attention of every traveler. The Devil's Tower, a towering monolith standing 265 meters tall, features a base nearly 1.5 kilometers wide. Made of resilient volcanic rocks such as porphyry and phonolite, its unusual shape leaves a lasting impression. About 50 million years ago, the Devil's Tower formed from a magma flow that rose from deep within the Earth and solidified into impressive hexagonal columns. The formation of these columns, known in science as Bernard cells, is an example of the remarkable self-organization that can occur in nature. The key to their formation lies in a specific temperature gradient, where the magma heats from below while the surface cools from above. In the distant past, the monolith wasn't towering above the Earth's surface, but lay buried in the layers of sandstone and alurite, soft sedimentary rocks. Over time, however, as weathering and erosion took their toll, the Devil's Tower gradually rose until it became the dominant feature of the landscape. In the cultures of Native American tribes, the tower has held great significance. For centuries, it served as a site for rituals. Wave Rock is a truly unique natural wonder, unlike anything else in the world. Located 350 kilometers east of Perth, the capital of Western Australia, this natural granite formation has a striking half-circle shape. It's massive, stretching over 110 meters long and towering more than 15 meters high. This rock's perfectly smooth structure and gentle curves make it look just like a frozen tsunami wave. This natural sculpture draws thousands of tourists and photography enthusiasts every year. Its layered vertical stripes shift colors with the light, from gray to reddish and yellow hues. This unique formation emerged due to geological processes that spanned millions of years. During the Cretaceous period, water seeped through the soil, eroding softer sections of the granite plate. Later, tectonic shifts created a distinct tilt and exposed the rock. From there, rain, river waters, and temperature changes sculpted it to perfection, creating the iconic concave shape. According to another theory from the indigenous people, the wave rock is actually a mark left by a giant rainbow serpent who once drank all the water on Earth. Trolltunga is a rock formation on Mount Skjegedal in Norway, perfectly positioned for breathtaking shots. Located 700 meters above the ground, it overlooks the stunning northern landscape and a beautiful lake. This geological feature is part of ancient bedrock formed during the last ice age, about 10,000 years ago. As glacial water froze in the cracks of the mountain, it broke off large jagged pieces, which were then carried away by the glacier. Over the past decade, Trolltunga has transformed from a natural phenomenon mostly visited by climbers and professional travelers into a national symbol. The number of people who hike the 27-kilometer trail to stand on the famous rock ledge has increased 100-fold. The hike is quite challenging, taking you over rough terrain and with a significant altitude gain. Also, the weather's often cold, with snow sometimes lingering on the mountain even in the summer. Balance is a familiar concept for the people of Zimbabwe. In this African country, there are remarkable rock formations everywhere. Imposing granite boulders balanced atop each other. Matobo, where these formations are especially common, has been designated a national park and is part of UNESCO's World Heritage List. These balancing stones go back to ancient times. Around 3.5 billion years ago, this region was a hotspot of intense volcanic activity. Over time, these curious rock formations emerged from ancient lava lakes, weathered into their unique shapes. Beyond their geological history, the Matobo rocks carry a profound human legacy. From the early Stone Age up to the start of our era, they served as natural shelters and preserved a remarkable legacy of rock paintings. Even with all the advancements of mankind, nature is still the most brilliant architect and sculptor. Take a moment to admire the breathtaking Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland, at the northern edge of the Antrim Plateau. This stunning natural monument, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, consists of approximately 40,000 interconnected basalt and andesite columns. Its geometry forms a kind of ramp that begins at the foot of the cliff and extends down into the Irish Sea. The columns stand out due to their perfect shape. Most are hexagonal, and some rise up to 12 meters tall. This structure is common in many igneous rocks, formed by horizontal pressure as massive lava flows cool on the Earth's surface. It's much like the way a thick layer of mud dries in a puddle. This is exactly what occurred on this plateau when an underwater volcano erupted here about 50 million years ago. Now, the Giant's Causeway is Northern Ireland's main attraction. Every year, tens of thousands of visitors come here to explore the tops of towering rock columns, enjoying the stunning coastal views, and experience the incredible energy that pulses from the searing depths of the Earth. This stone elephant seems more like the work of a surrealist artist, but that doesn't make it any less impressive. The Elephant Rock, a natural arch, is located at the eastern entrance of the Valley of Fire State Park in Nevada, about an hour-and-a-half drive from Las Vegas. It's one of the best places in the world to witness the power of erosion as a shaping force of the landscape. The valley was formed about 150 million years ago due to the movement of sand dunes. The striking shapes of figures, arches and columns made from colorful sandstone, rich in iron compounds that now adorn the desert, demonstrate the enormous power of wind and sand in shaping the landscape. In addition to rock artifacts, the Valley of Fire is home to rare fossilized trees and archaeological sites, including petroglyphs from various periods. Tsingy de Bemaraha is a stunning nature reserve on the island of Madagascar, famous for its untouched landscapes. The best way to describe it is as a stone forest, and I'm sure you can understand why. This unique type of terrain, which can't be found anywhere else in the world, is known as Tsingy, consisting of limestone rock formations marked by countless vertical crevices. The jagged peaks and numerous sharp angles make the terrain nearly impassable for anyone without specialized gear. In areas where people are scarce, perfect conditions arise for wildlife, making the Tsingy de Bemaraha a true paradise for many rare species, including the largest lemurs, the Indri. The origin of the geological phenomenon of Tsingy remains a mystery. It's likely the result of intense weathering of karst formations, but how exactly this happened is hard to imagine. One theory suggests that in ancient times, volcanic activity triggered prolonged and acidic rains, which then reacted chemically with the rocks. Kumakivi, which translates from Finnish as strange stone, is a natural monument located in a forest in southeastern Finland. It's a true natural oddity, a boulder weighing around 500 tons and standing 5 meters tall, mysteriously balancing on a perfectly smooth cliff. It likely came to rest in this unusual position about 12,000 years ago, when a glacier retreated, and so far, nothing has disturbed its balance. The Antelope Canyon in Arizona is a photographer's paradise. The smooth red-orange curves of the rock, illuminated by gentle light, create a magical atmosphere and an unmatched texture for photographs. Both the upper and lower canyon share the same origin: massive natural cracks in the red sandstone formed over hundreds of thousands of years by the forces of water and wind. Occasionally, every few years, heavy rains cause flash floods that completely submerge the canyons, demonstrating erosion in action. During these events, it's extremely dangerous to be inside, which is why tours only take place when the weather forecast is favorable. The Upper Antelope Canyon, 200 meters long and 37 meters deep, is particularly popular among tourists, since it doesn't require any climbing. The Lower Canyon, however, attracts those who aren't afraid of challenges. The path is longer and narrower, and at some points it's impossible to stand up straight. Additionally, visitors must climb several stairways along the way. Nature breaks its own rules, covering the land in a brilliant array of colors. One spectacular example is Vinicunca, the Rainbow Mountain in the Peruvian Andes. Sitting at 5,200 meters above sea level, it lies among snowy summits and turquoise lakes, about 100 kilometers from Cusco. A vast number of rock layers, combined with the influence of climate and underground waters, have transformed the slopes of Vinicunca into a vibrant rainbow-colored stratified formation. It's a truly breathtaking sight. And these are the Tabriz Mountains in Iran that cover an area of about 70 square kilometers. The diverse mineral content, full of precious ores, paints the rocky terrain in pastel shades of red, white, yellow, grey, and orange. In Tasman Bay, just off the coast of New Zealand, there's a charming rock formation called Split Apple Rock. The name couldn't be more fitting. As Maori legend has it, this impressive rock formation came about from a contest between gods to see whose hands were mightier. Scientists propose a different theory. They believe that a crack in this ancient 120-million-year-old boulder was slowly widened by rain and waves from the Tasman Sea. Now, the striking Split Apple Rock draws countless visitors, especially because at low tide you can wade right up to it for a close-up view. Silfra Fissure is a major tectonic fault in the Earth's crust, located in Thingvallavatn Lake within Thingvellir National Park in Iceland. It marks the boundary between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. The rift and the entire valley were formed through a series of tectonic shifts. The plates move apart by 2 centimeters every year, creating tension in the layers above and causing earthquakes. This leads to the formation of cracks, faults, and caves which get flooded by glacial waters. It's a truly unique natural site where you can witness geological processes on a global scale. Furthermore, the cool waters of Silfra are ideal for diving, reaching a depth of 63 meters and offering outstanding visibility. Spread across 400 square kilometers in southeastern China's Yunnan province, the remarkable stone forest took shape over 270 million years. This area was once a shallow sea, and as the waters withdrew, erosion transformed the sandstone and limestone layers into an awe-inspiring karst landscape that is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In this natural park, you'll find towering rock columns up to 40 meters high, rugged cliffs, fascinating stalactites and stalagmites, underground rivers, and sprawling caves. With thick forests and a unique ecosystem, it's a place that could be studied for years. It's no surprise it became a popular destination as early as the Ming Dynasty in the 17th century. On the border between Europe and Asia, in the Ural Mountains, lies the Manpupuna Plateau, which translates from the Mansi language as Little Mountain of Idols. The sweeping panorama of this remote, untouched landscape stirs a sense of awe and mystical wonder. Set against an endless sky and deserted valleys, bizarre stone pillars rise up, truly resembling frozen giants. The geological landmark consists of one large isolated rock formation and 6 smaller pillars arranged in a row at the edge of a cliff. Can you believe it? These towering giants reach up to 40 meters. Scientifically speaking, these objects are known as remnants. They're isolated rock masses that resisted weathering, while the surrounding weaker rocks were worn away. The durability of the columns, made of sericite quartzite slates, can be traced back to a time when they formed as molten lava flows that rose from below and filled in the voids of the surrounding weaker rocks. Visiting Manpupuna is an incredible experience for travelers who want to connect with the untamed nature of this rugged region and feel the power of the stone pillars that have withstood the forces of nature for centuries. The marble caves of Patagonia are a breathtaking marvel of nature that can amaze anyone who lays eyes on them. Located on the shores of Lake General Carrera, which sits on the border between Chile and Argentina in the Patagonian Andes, but in reality, the true architect is the lake's turquoise waters. For 6,000 years, water has carved 3 stunning interiors from limestone and marble, which are now known as a cave, a cathedral, and a chapel. The only way to reach these majestic chambers is by taking a challenging boat ride across the lake. The best time to do this is on a sunny morning when the light streams into the flooded grottos, dancing and reflecting off the smooth, iridescent walls. It's hard to believe that these perfectly round stone spheres were created without human involvement. The Moeraki boulders were first discovered in 1850 on Koakohi Beach in the Otago region, located on the southeast coast of New Zealand's South Island. In an area no larger than 300 meters, hundreds of these spherical stones, ranging from 0.5 to 2.2 meters across, lie scattered along the shore. However, the Maori had known about these mysterious boulders long before, and believed that they were remnants of baskets that fell from a giant canoe. Scientists believe that there's nothing supernatural about the perfect shape of the Moeraki boulders. Such shapes are common in concretions, which are mineral aggregates that typically form and grow in porous sedimentary rocks like sand and clay. However, the Moeraki boulders formed 5 million years ago in argillite, a much stronger rock, which likely allowed them to grow to such large sizes. These concretions are made of mud, fine sand and clay, all cemented together with calcite. Interestingly, they are of great interest to paleontologists, as they often contain fossilized remains of animals and plants. Today, Moeraki Boulders is a conservation area and one of the top natural attractions in New Zealand. If you're a fan of sweets, you'll find this geological phenomenon absolutely fascinating. No wonder the valley on the Philippine island of Bohol is called the Chocolate Hills. Covering 50 square kilometers, the area is dotted with countless hills that look remarkably alike and are smooth in texture. There are anywhere from 1,260 to 1,776 of them, with heights ranging from 30 to 120 meters. The hills are covered with lush green grass, which turns brown during the dry season, making them look like a scattered collection of tempting truffle candies. This unique and captivating landscape has long been a popular tourist destination and a symbol of Bohol province, appearing on its flag. In 1988, the Philippine government declared the Chocolate Hills a National Geological Monument. From a geological standpoint, the valley is marked by pronounced conical karst relief, created by rivers and streams that once ran through the limestone deposits above the sea level. Over time, the water withdrew, leaving behind this unusual landscape. For those who find this explanation too dull, there's a romantic local legend too. It says that the hills are the frozen tears of a giant who mourns the death of his beloved. Sometimes, stones go beyond being just geological formations and become cultural symbols or even sacred objects. The Kyaiktiyo Pagoda in Myanmar is a prime example. A Buddhist structure over 5 meters high, it sits on top of a granite rock that teeters on a cliff's edge, its surface covered in gold leaves. According to legend, the mighty spirits place the stone atop the mountain, and its balance is maintained by a strand of Buddha's hair hidden within the pagoda. The positioning of the boulder seems to defy gravity itself. It's said that 2 people can easily rock the golden rock back and forth, yet as it remains unmoved, a steady stream of pilgrims continues to visit, covering the rock with countless gold leaf sheets. In the northwest of Ireland, south of Raphoe, lies a place where the stones hold the memory of ancient Celtic history. The Beltany Stone Circle, dating back to the Bronze Age, was built between 2100 and 700 BC. With a diameter of about 50 meters, it's made of up to 64 stones, each standing as tall as a person. According to historians, the original complex contained around 20 more stones, but over the centuries, local people took them for construction purposes. Today, the Beltany Circle is the focus of academic research and a pilgrimage site for those interested in the spiritual culture of past eras. At the center of the circle, atop a hill, stands a small mound, where archaeologists discovered cremated remains and a stone sculpture of a deity. The stones bear ancient symbols. Some are decorated with cup-shaped or circular carvings, while others feature designs resembling constellations. It's likely that the circle was a significant ceremonial site, tied to major astronomical events such as the summer and winter solstices, as well as the equinoxes. The Vestmannaeyjar archipelago, located on the southern shores of Iceland, is made up of 14 islands with a total area of only 21 square kilometers. These islands were created by volcanic eruptions, and the volcanic activity continues, meaning the number of islands might grow in the future. The archipelago is famous for its black volcanic rocks with unusual shapes. However, among them, Elephant Rock stands out the most. It's located on Jaime, the largest and only inhabited island in the archipelago. A rock formation resembling an elephant drinking water was formed recently, during the 1973 eruption of the Eldfell volcano. The basalt's color in particular makes it even more lifelike, resembling the color of a real elephant. Though only 50 years have passed since the eruption, the stone elephant has already become a cult landmark, surrounded by numerous myths and legends. The most original of these was created by Lovecraft fans, who managed to see the features of their beloved monster Cthulhu in this charming elephant. Bufador de Peñascola is a unique spot in Spain where a geological anomaly blends seamlessly with a historical landmark. Located by the Balearic Sea, this place is home to a castle built by the Knights Templar around the turn of the 13th and 14th centuries. The castle has a rich history tied to the Catholic Church, but today its fame comes not from that, but from the Bufador, a Spanish term for a blowhole that creates strange sounds and showers tourists with water. This happens because a 64-meter-long sea cave opens into one of the castle's courtyards. When the sea starts to get rough, the sounds become increasingly eerie, and during a storm, a massive column of water can burst through an opening, shaking even the ancient stone walls of the castles with its force. For those who crave even more excitement, they can venture into the cave from the seaside and explore it, at least partially.